guys, welcome to Manchester United, welcome to another video, and Barcelona 3, Real Betis 2, at the Benito Villamarin, and we've done it. We got another 3 points, very important 3 points. Sorry for no video midweek. I did see the game, but unfortunately did not have the time to release the video on that day, and releasing a match review of the game afterwards is not the greatest. If you want my really quick opinion right now, I can just give it. I thought it was a really good comeback. The attitude especially very good, and Koeman doesn't convince me in the sense of making those weird attacking changes. It worked for him, but yet again, if Granada would have had, instead of Luis Suarez, the Colombian Luis Suarez, if they would have had Robert Lewandowski, we would have lost that game in regular time. That's something to look at. And he kind of did that today too, in transition. Koeman and his changes are not something that I'm particularly convinced. I'm going to give him props. It's not all going to be criticisms for me. I can see that Koeman has improved some aspects of our team. Like, in the physical fitness of our players seems better at the moment. Seems better. We'll see at the latter stages how it looks. But for the time being, it looks much better than how it was last season. The passing has improved too. Also, virtue of Ricky Puig being on the field. Things you know. First start for Pjanic and Puig, I believe, in La Liga, which we are in match day 21, and that's the first time they've started. At least for Puig, I'm sure that's the first time he started. And although he didn't have his best game, he had, in numbers wise, he was pretty decent and pretty good actually. Pjanic, underwhelming in some areas here or not, but again, was also, affected by the fact of having Griezmann playing as a false nine. Because this is not criticism of Griezmann, this is a criticism of, trying to ask Griezmann to do what Messi does to an effectiveness that Messi does. And that's not going to happen. Because when Messi drops, yes, he can get in between the interior roles, but he creates so much. Like his passing range, his creativity, his vision, it's no compared to anyone else in the world. And the thing is that if you're going to have Griezmann drop deep and get in between, because if you see the heat map from Griezmann, you see that he's all around Pjanic and Puig area of range. Like, he should be closer to the penalty area, acting more as a 9 instead of a false 9. Maybe dropping to either wing to help out Braithwaite, to help out Dembele in association. But that didn't happen, and I believe that affected Pjanic and Puig involvement of the game. To go into more depth, let's talk about the lineups and then go ahead and talk about the game. Barcelona to go with Marc and Terstegen, Mingueza, Araujo, Lenglet and Alba in defense. A midfield trio of Busquets, Ricky Puig and Pjanic, and up top Griezmann, Dembele and Martin Braithwaite. While Betis up to go with Joel Robles in net, Victor Ruiz, Albert, Alex Moreno, Aissa Mandi, Emerson Royal, Paul and Guardado in midfield. As the attacking midfielders, Aitor Ruibal, Nabil Fekir and Juanmi, and up top, Borja Iglesias. And alright, discussing more in depth the game. Actually, before discussing the game, I just wanted to talk about what happened, the unfortunate injury that happened to Lucas Ocampos this weekend. If you guys haven't seen it, you can go ahead and see it. Just type Lucas Ocampos injury and you'll probably see it. And if I had to tell you, what team do you think, because this was an injury that could have been prevented, could have been extremely prevented, because although not intentional per se of the player wanting to injure the other player, if you said, who is a team that commits the most dangerous fouls and plays the most, let's call it for what it is, underground football in La Liga, what name comes up to mind? I'll give you 3 seconds. It was Getafe. It was Borderas Getafe once again, not only against Barcelona, not only against Sevilla, but against every team in La Liga. This is happening. And I don't like Getafe's way of playing. They have some pretty decent players. Some other players that are not even good enough to be in La Liga. But that team has been, and the mentality of the team has been transformed into the ends justifies the means, even if the ends is injuring other players around you. Obviously, I don't think, or I hope, that Bordas is not telling their players to go ahead and injure everyone they can, but he's saying go as hard as you can. There's no, if you don't get a red card, that's fine. Do whatever you want. And the problem is that we had to wait for a red card, because probably if there's no red card, I have doubt if that would have been, if Jene would have been sent off. I have my serious doubts about it. I would extending too much in situation. Lucas Ocampos, it hasn't been confirmed what the extent of his injury is, but from what I've seen, he's minimum gonna be out for a month. I've seen those kind of fractures, because I'm pretty sure he's fractured, so I don't think it's gonna be a month. I think that Lucas Ocampos is gonna miss the rest of the season. And why do I say it could have been prevented? Because Jene is going full force with the sole of his cleats, and that is extremely dangerous. That's extremely dangerous in any situation, and we've seen this. This is a red card. It's a handbook red card. We can talk about the red cards not given for Barcelona, Real Madrid, whatever. Those are like other things that are not like high in risk of causing an injury. These are things that are very preventable. For example, if Jene would have gone with much force and he would have been a heavier player, let's say Jene is the size of Lukaku and he would have gone with more force, Ocampos, maybe he breaks completely, he tears apart his ankle. That's a career-ending injury, probably. That is not okay in any means. The ends, depending on the means, is not justified. If by any chance you can only play like there's one thing being Simeone's Atletico Madrid, which is football that I don't like. But overall, and it's not complete clean football. I think there's a bit of underground football there, but we don't see these. We don't see this. This is something that needs to be, eradicated, not in front of La Liga, but from football overall, because this is a problem going forward. We don't want to see players, getting career-ending injuries with something that was very easily preventable. Because what should happen, in my book, is not only Jene gets a red card for the offense, he misses 10 games. He misses 10 games, or he should miss as many games as it takes for the player to come back from injury. Because this is a problem. This is a serious issue that needs to be corrected. Anyways, I deviated from the topic, but it's something that I wanted to discuss. And going back into the game, the first half, I know that I was seeing Twitter and I was looking at, people were not particularly happy. I would say that Betis played really well. I think that the first half was really good from Betis. The problem in the second half was that obviously keeping that amount of intensity and concentration was not easy. And in fact wasn't easy. And also that we were missing the best player in the world, Lionel Messi. I'm not saying that we cannot win without Messi. That's obviously not the case. I've seen it numerous times. I've seen us win against Madrid without Messi. So Messi not being in is not necessarily the problem, but it definitely helps. And today it helped massively. Because Griezmann is a great player. He's a World Cup winner. He's, when he came to Barcelona, he was one of the best players in the world. And I still think that he has, in potential, if he's in the right setup, he is one of the best players in the world. But Messi is the greatest of all time. And there's a huge difference in the output that he can give you. And Messi, in 14 minutes that he played, Barcelona attacked 9 times. All the time before that, 55 minutes before that, we only attacked 8 times. So you see that the impact that Messi has is huge. We also have to talk about the injury to Ronald Araujo. Very unfortunate, but it was self-done. I don't think it's going to be that bad. It seems like it's just a sprain. And honestly, it looked like that. I didn't see his ankle turning in any horrible way. I probably felt those kind of sprains before. I think max he misses maybe 3 weeks, but I say that maybe he's probably going to miss the game against PSG, or he's gonna be just about fit to play against PSG. But we'll see. I don't think that we should rush him if there's any doubts, because I think PK is gonna be back, and then you can choose between PK, Longley, and MTD to play there. Longley is missed a clear header. I think you just had to barely make contact with that ball and kind of like just redirect it. Like, you didn't have to apply power to it, just redirect it into the right area and it would have gone in. He was so close that he missed it. I'm not hating on Longley. I still think Longley's a good player, but he's definitely not making himself any favors to be the star for Barcelona, at least for the time being. Jordi Alba is playing a lot better. He's playing a lot better. Still things that could be improved, but it's going back to the best version of Jordi Alba, which a lot of people still think that he hasn't been amazing for many years. I just think that after what happened at Anfield, we've seen a different Jordi Alba. We're starting to see something much better, in my opinion. At least forward-wise, he's going back to being the best Jordi Alba. Mingueza is not a fullback. I'm not going to judge him because he's not a fullback. Obviously, he's going to have problems. Try putting, Busquets as a number 9, and you'll see him have problems. Talking about the midfield, I already talked about Puig and Pjanic. Busquets, I think was fine. He's going to get blamed for the second goal and for committing the foul, but the important thing in that situation is either the ball goes or the player goes, but not both. And he stopped back here on his tracks. He could have done more against both Iglesias, but we were missing Araujo. De Jong is not clear the center back. Like, things that are preventable. But are you going to judge your defensive midfielder for not tracking the striker that was, in theory, responsibility more of De Jong or Longley, one of the two? Again, Busquets not his best, but I think hating on him right now is just doesn't help anyone. Doesn't help you. Doesn't help him. It doesn't help the team for sure. Griezmann was fine. I would say that I give him a passing grade, but wasn't anything too special. I think that he's playing better in that left wing position, closing in. Also, in association with Alba. Griezmann down the middle on his own is just not doing anything. Like, I just don't feel that he's effective in that position. And the same thing with Braithwaite. Braithwaite is, if you're gonna play him as a number 9. Don't play him in the left or down the right, because he's just not effective that way. Braithwaite has no sense of dribbling or one-on-one or making key passes. Like, he's just not the type of player. He's a player that you should give the ball to him for him to hold up and then offload the play to the other players around him. He's not a player to make a play on his own, so don't put him in that position. And Dembélé was the best player until Messi came in. He was, creating so much danger. We're seeing the better version of Ousmane Dembélé. I still think that he's at 50% of the player that he can be. At least of what I think that he can be. He can still give so much more. He should be a player that scores 25 goals and gives 15 assists a season. I am being dead serious. That he's dangerous with both feet. He's fast. His feints are insane. Like I haven't seen a player do so many feints so effectively in the longest time. Like, it's great to see a good Dembélé. Also, something that I wanted to point out before ending the video is that Dembélé seems to be, doing better with his teammates. Like, getting along better with his teammates, especially talking about Messi. Specifically talking about Messi. It just seems that there's very chemistry. Like, they're, now celebrating the goals together, and they're very, laughing with each other, and that's great to see. I'm not going to say that that's necessarily the problem. The problem is, why wasn't that happening before? Because instead of being laughing with Dembélé, I always see Messi and Suarez specifically giving him looks, Suarez even yelling at Dembélé and other players among them, but Dembélé specifically, it doesn't look good. And I have the feeling that the same thing is happening with Trincao. That Trincao seems like maybe he's open, but he doesn't get a pass. And I'm just thinking that I'm gonna keep an eye on this because it's still early days, but Trincao to Barcelona right now looks very similar to Dembele, where he looks very shy. Trincao, although he's a very he has a lot of tenacity and he's seems to be very outgoing in the field and in the game, but it seems like he's a bit timid, a bit shy. So it's something I want to keep an eye on. And I think that as a captain and as one of the pillars of this Barcelona team, you have to help him blend in. Like, he's already learned Spanish. He just gave the post-match interview in Spanish, so getting to know the language well after just a couple months from arriving, it's shows very good commitment. And in contrast to Dembele, that I'm pretty sure that he doesn't know how to speak Spanish just yet. But that's point aside. Good to see Trincao scoring his first goal for the club, or in La Liga. I'm pretty sure that's his first goal. He's definitely his first goal in La Liga, and this time it went in, and the other times it could have also gone in. He's hit the post multiple times. It's gone just wide multiple times. I think that he needed this. He needs this. He needs to have a good run of scoring form and giving assists. He can relax. We've seen this with Griezmann. Griezmann this month, before this month, he was maybe he was also very shy, was disappearing, and all of a sudden 1 or 2 goals go in, and now he's just firing in all cylinders. Still not the best Griezmann, but at least numbers wise, he's apporting a lot, and that's very, very good. Again, we need to see more. But anyway, this was a team with a lot of rotations, so I can understand it. A lot of rotations in this team. It's a game that we needed to win. If we have any dreams of winning La Liga, I'm not dreaming about winning La Liga because I think that Athletic Madrid has to really, really bottle it for them to lose it. But hey, we have to do as much as we can. The sooner that we can secure the top 4 spot, we can focus on maybe the Copa del Rey. It's at 3 games. The Champions League, if I just don't want to lose in a bad manner, but if we can beat PSG, I just want to beat PSG. We have it tough because PSG are better, as much as it pains to say. They are right now a team that is technically in paper better. I mean, if you cannot beat this Barcelona team, then you suck, don't you? It hasn't been easier to beat this Barcelona team ever. I've never seen this Barcelona team being so beatable before. So if PSG can't do it, I just want to laugh at them. I want to laugh at them, and I just want to show up some people that don't respect this institution. That we're no joke. That Bartomeu was the joke, Sandra Rosell is the joke, Mundo Deportivo is the joke, but Barcelona itself is not a joke. We are someone that you should respect for the history and because of who we are. Anyways, guys, leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next one, Blaugranas.